Hello everyone, Kira the Hedgehog here, and I decided that instead of doing a video recap of Nintendo's E3 Direct, that instead I was going to dig in a little deeper and talk about Super Smash Bros. And literally just talk about characters that aren't in Smash Bros. Yet, but I think that would personally be really cool in Smash Bros. So first I'll start with Nintendo only characters, and then after that I'll go on to like third-party characters that don't belong to Nintendo. So here we go. First on my Nintendo list would have to be Crystal from the Star Fox games. I've always really liked Crystal as a character. She's the main female character in the game. And to be honest, my first Star Fox game was Star Fox Assault, and I absolutely loved that game. I went on to play Adventures, and I really enjoyed the beginning where you get to play as Crystal, but I really don't enjoy Adventures as much as I love Assault. I know I'm going on a rabbit trail here, but what I'm trying to say is Nintendo, make a Star Fox game that's like Assault, because that would be really awesome. But anyway, I just really think Crystal would do really well in the game. Her fighting style could be a lot like Fox's fighting style in the Super Smash Bros. Games. And then she could have a gun just like Fox does. So yeah, Crystal would be a really cool character. I would love to see her put on the character roster. I also have a few Mario characters that I think would be really cool in Super Smash Bros. The first one is Toadette. I think they could think of some like really cool stuff to do for Toadette. She would obviously be a really lightweight character, and I think she would also be a pretty quick character as well. I don't know really how she would play, and I don't really know what kind of attacks she could use, but Nintendo's awesome, so I'm sure they could like figure something out, because I'm really drawing a blank, but I really feel like Toadette would be a really cool character, really neat character. I would totally play as her if she came out in the next Smash Bros. And another Mario character that I just think would be adorable and would probably be a fan favorite is Baby Mario. See, personally for me, with Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, I love playing as Baby Mario. He's so cute. Like, when he hits the tennis ball with his tennis racket, sometimes he sneezes, and if he loses a game, he ends up crying, and there's just a lot of unique things they could do for Baby Mario in the Super Smash Bros. Games, and a lot of his attacks could be like Mario's, but he could be obviously really lightweight and fast, just like Toadette. But there's just a lot of really cute things that Nintendo could do regarding his like final smash attack, or just normal attacks in general. There's a lot of cool things I think they could do for Baby Mario, and I think it would work. Now, I'm aware that Nintendo did announce that the Animal Crossing villager is going to be in the next Smash Bros. Games, which is really cool. I'm stoked for that. He's gonna be so awesome. But if they did want to add another Animal Crossing character, I think Tom Nook would be the way to go. I feel like Tom Nook is the second best known character in the Animal Crossing series. For people that don't really play it, at least they know who Tom Nook is. And I feel like that they could figure out some really cool things for him to do. Maybe he could just like take out a few bags of bells and like hit people with them. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, if I had to choose another Animal Crossing character to be in Super Smash Bros., it would be Tom Nook. That'd be pretty cool. Now I'm going to talk about Fire Emblem Awakening stuff, and if you haven't played past a certain part in Fire Emblem Awakening, like, I don't want to give you any spoilers, so move past this a couple minutes so that you don't get any like spoilers, because I would hate to do that for you. So go play Fire Emblem Awakening in the meantime. But anyway, Marth has already been in the Super Smash Bros. Games. But if you haven't played Fire Emblem Awakening, the thing with Fire Emblem Awakening is Marth is actually not Marth in Fire Emblem Awakening. It's Lucena, which is Kromm's daughter from the future. And I think Lucena / Marth would be a really cool character addition. You could start off as Marth, and then maybe you could somehow switch out to Lucena. Pretty much just take the mask off, let your hair flow, and then you can be Lucena. But you could fight in the same way, pretty much. But also with Lucena, they should also add Kromm. I'll be really surprised if they don't add Kromm. The thing with Fire Emblem Awakening is that it's a lot of people's first Fire Emblem game. and it did really well because it's a great game. It was actually my second Fire Emblem game, and I just think Kromm would be really perfect for the Super Smash Bros. Game. Kromm is a really, really cool character. Like, I know that they had Roy in Melee, and then with Brawl they had Ike. To be perfectly honest, like, Roy was my boy in Melee. Like, I loved playing as Roy in Melee a lot. And then Ike came out, but Ike was, like, really different. He was just, like, a lot slower, and his attacks were a little more heavy. And he was just heavy himself as a character. So I didn't like playing as Ike as much, but I feel like Kromm would play more like Ike than he would Roy. But if they could find, like, a good balance, if they had Kromm be in the game, that'd be really cool. So yeah, Kromm and Lucena / Marth from Fire Emblem Awakening, they have to do that. So a really cool idea that I thought of was, okay, you know how in Super Smash Bros. Brawl we had the Pokemon trainer, and then he had like 3 Pokemon that he could switch out and they would fight for him. Well, I just thought it'd be really cool that, you know, since that Pokemon trainer is technically Red, from first generation Pokemon, it would be really cool if there was a Team Rocket and Grunt that had a different set of Pokemon. Like, you could give him Arbok, maybe a Zubat or a Golbat, or maybe Coughing or Wheezing. Like, you could give him Pokemon like that, like, Team Rocket users would use. They're kind of like a darker themed Pokemon. That would be so cool. I mean, I know people that, like, just totally own people with the Pokemon trainer, and I think the Pokemon trainer is a really good idea, and they could just build on that idea by adding the Team Rocket Grunt, and you could have, like, the evil side of it. So that would be really, really cool. And then that would give you, like, a set of 3 extra characters to play as, pretty much, depending on what 3 Pokemon you choose. Because I know some people that play as the Pokemon trainer, but they only play as, like, maybe Charizard, or they'll only play as Squirtle, depending on which Pokemon they rather prefer, the Pokemon that they play as better. So with this, you know, that automatically gives 3 extra characters to the roster, just depending on which Pokemon you'd want to play as that the Team Rocket Grunt would have. So I really think that's a great idea. Like, I'm so happy I thought of that. Oh man, I don't mean to brag, but that would be such a good idea. Like, if Nintendo did that, I'd be like if I wouldn't have thought of that, and then Nintendo would put it in, I'd be like, that is such a good idea. I really do think it's a good idea. So yeah. Team Rocket Grunt would be awesome. Now, moving on from just Nintendo characters, we're going to move on to non-Nintendo characters, like third-party characters that don't have much to do with Nintendo at all. And some of these characters, I know for a fact, are probably never going to be in Smash Bros., but you can never tell, because who knows, Nintendo might pull some strings and, hey, this character's in Smash Bros. Who would have known? Haha, Mega Man, who knew? First character up on my list is a character that I just absolutely adore. It is probably my favorite third-party game ever, and that is Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. Now, a lot of people have the argument where they'll say, well, Commander Shepard's too realistic to be in Super Smash Bros. And that's kind of the same argument that people had against Snake, was that he was a realistic character who wouldn't fit in the more cartoony world of Super Smash Bros. But I personally think that Snake is a really awesome character in Brawl, and I know a lot of people that actually use him, and I really do think he works. So I really think that other realistic characters will work in Super Smash Bros. As well. So, as I was saying, Commander Shepard, I personally prefer FemShep because that's what I've played the trilogy through as, is FemShep, so playing as FemShep in Super Smash Bros. Would be really cool, and I just think it'd be really neat, maybe as a final Smash, like, they could do something where Commander Shepard takes out the collector particle beam that you get in Mass Effect 2 and just dominates everyone with it, like, wipes the floor with the particle beam as the final Smash. That would be really, really, really cool. I'd love to see that. So, yeah, Commander Shepard is a possibility. There's a lot of things they could do with her/him, so Commander Shepard would be awesome. The next non-Nintendo character that I think would be really, really cool, actually, is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. I just think there's a lot of really cool things that Nintendo could do with her. For example, like, she could use a grappling hook or something to pull herself to higher areas of the stage. Or, like, say you're playing Final Destination, you could take your grappling hook and maybe, like, hook yourself to the edge and then swing under the level and come back up on the other side of Final Destination to do an attack. And she also has guns, so that would be kind of cool to use those as weapons. I do kind of see people using this argument, though, against putting her in Smash Bros. Games. Like, people might say, well, Lara Croft is really, like, a suggestive character with her, like, body figure, if you know what I mean. And people would say, you know, kids shouldn't be playing the game if Lara Croft is in it just because of her body, and because if you've played some of the earlier, Tomb Raider games, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah, I know you do. But to be honest, Super Smash Bros. Is rated T for teen, kids 13 and up. So Super Smash Bros. Isn't necessarily supposed to be a game for really, really, really young kids. So I don't think people should use that argument. To be honest, in the new Tomb Raider game, she is more realistic, if you know what I mean. So I think they could use that version and everything would be fine. I just know that if I say they should put Lara Croft in Super Smash Bros., I just know people would just get so riled up about that because of kids playing the game. But honestly, it is rated T for teens, so there you go. Now, third and final on my list, actually, I was going to mention too many characters, but third and final on my list is Tails from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Now, the reason why I pick Tails over characters that are really popular like Shadow or characters that I personally like Amy, is that Tails is the second most well-known character in the Sonic the Hedgehog games. Sonic's sidekick, Sonic's friend for years, and I just feel like Tails would just do better in Smash Bros. I feel like he'd be more of a favorite than other characters would be. And, you know, he could fly, he could do a tail spin attack. You know, maybe it's his final smash, he could get into the tornado and, like, fly around and kill people that way. That'd be really cool. So seeing Tails would be really awesome. And just throwing this out here, if Amy were in the next Smash Bros., I would totally main her. Even if I sucked, I would just try and, like, main Amy and just try to master how she works and stuff. But it would be so funny if her final smash attack was she got her like green metal hammer that she gets in Sonic Adventure as like another special item that she gets, and like she could just hit people with that. That'd be so cool. I just thought about that. That'd be really funny. But anyway, guys, that is all the characters that I have to say for now. If you guys have any characters that you think would be really cool, whether they like Sonic characters, first-party Nintendo characters, or just other random characters, just put them down in the comments. I mean, I just gave a few of the ones that I think would be really, really neat. I mean, there's also some other Final Fantasy characters that would be really cool. Sora from Kingdom Hearts would be pretty cool as well, but those were just characters that I have been thinking of and just thought of really cool ways that they could be put into the Super Smash Bros. Games. So, just leave your comments down below, and yeah. That's it, so I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching the video.